Today I am eating something that I had on this channel before, but just in a different sort of method of eating it. So this dish is called 脆皮五花肉. 五花肉 is a kind of meat. It's like pork belly, basically. So it's like striated fat meat kind of. That's why it's called wu means five and hua means flour. In this case, hua more means like the striations of meat and fat rather than like real flours. So this meat is called wuharo, and then this preparation of it is they cook it until the exterior skin gets all like really crispy. So it's called crispy skin, 脆皮. 脆皮五花肉, crispy skin pork belly. In a previous video, I got it along with some like small little wrappers, like wrap things, and then some like cucumber and lettuce, and made like kind of taco kind of little wraps with it. This time I'm having it with some various kind of bread and some garlic. So I'm just eating it plain without like putting in a wrap or anything. But I've got the meat. I've got the meat. You can just eat the pieces of that. And then I've got three kinds of bread. The first one is a variation on a kind of bread called yobing. Yobing is kind of like a soft, flaky pancake that they make. And then this one is called jiangxiang bing. So bing just means pancake or flat round thing. Yobing is yo means oil, so it's a bing that's cooked with oil, basically. But then there are various ways they modify that. You can get one that's called jidam bing, which is an egg. Jidam means egg, so it's like that same flat pancake, but with an egg cooked in with it. This one I've got is called jiangxiang bing. Jiang means sauce. In this case, I think that it means soy sauce. It might mean a different kind of sauce, but I'm pretty sure it means soy sauce. And then xiang means like flavor or fragrant. It can be about smell or taste, usually about smell. So jiangxiang just means like soy sauce flavored being. So this has been like cooked with soy sauce on it. I like it a little better than the plain yobing one. Just it has a little bit more flavor to it. So I've got, you buy that. They cook them, when they cook them, they cook these real big ones, and then they kind of fold it up and then chop it up. And you can get like, you buy it by like weight, but you just have pieces of it that have been chopped up. So I've got that kind of bread. And then in China, especially in the north of China, I don't actually know that this is a common practice in the south, but it's quite common here in the north. It's very popular to eat some kind of raw garlic with meat. When you're eating meat, you will eat some garlic along with it. Excuse me, I'll have to blow my nose. I went to a friend's house yesterday who had a cat, and I'm I didn't used to be allergic to cats, but I think over the recent years I've been becoming a little allergic to cats, and so now my sinuses are all messed up. So I didn't get plain raw garlic. I got a type of garlic that's called, so the word for garlic in Chinese is swan. If you're just talking about a plain clove of garlic, they'll call that da swan. That just means, da means big. But the word swan just means garlic. And so this one is called laba swan. And it's green. I thought this might be kind of interesting. It has a green color. It's a type of pickled garlic. So it's not cooked. It's still raw, but it's been pickled in a vinegar solution. I think they usually use rice vinegar for it. I'm not 100% certain about all the details of it. It's named after, I think, one of the holidays, or a Chinese holiday, or like one of the lunar calendar dates. Like I think La is a one of the lunar calendar months, and Ba, it just means 8. So it's named after some date in the lunar calendar, which I think is when you're supposed to prepare it or something. But it's a common thing that you can get all year round at restaurants. And people make it at home. You make it in a big jar. You just put a bunch of garlic in vinegar. And then I think the vinegar breaks down like something about the garlic, and then one of the chemicals that naturally exists, one of the enzymes that naturally exists in garlic, makes it turn green, which looks weird, but it just tastes like garlic with a little bit. It adds a little bit of I think they put sugar in the vinegar as well, so it adds a little bit of a sweet flavor and a little bit of a kind of more sour. But so it's very common practice here to like eat garlic and meat in the same bite, basically. So like you'll often, this is most common with the style of barbecue called chuar, which is like meat on sticks. At those kind of restaurants, it's really common to see people will just have cloves of garlic at the table, and they'll just bite the clove and take a bite of meat and chew it together, and then bite the clove of the garlic and take a bite of meat. So it's common to kind of mix it together in your mouth to go with the meat. It's just kind of it cuts the fat a little bit and like adds some flavor to the meat. Then I also got 2 other kinds of bread to go with this. I might have got too much bread, but I don't know. I wasn't exactly sure how big all of these things would be. So this one is called a shaobing. A shaobing is kind of a shao just means cooked in an oven, basically. So there are all kinds of different shaobings. This is just kind of a standard, fairly thick, bready flatbread. It's quite dry. So as opposed to the oil one, which is quite moist and wet, the shaobing is quite dry. You can get them with like sugar put on it or just with some salt. I got the one with salt. So that's just like another bread to go with this meat, basically. I didn't really need to buy all these different ones. I just thought I'd get an assortment just to see all of them. And it adds a little variation in every biteful or whatever. But that one is a little dry. It needs, you gotta drink a little liquid to keep your mouth wet. And the last thing I got. This is almost more of a dessert item. This is, again, also called Bing. But this one is called, I think, Tang Su Bing. Su is a word that means kind of like crispy. In the way that like a Chips Ahoy cookie is crispy. So maybe not like these are two different words for crispy. The pork belly that I have, that's called crispy skin. That uses a word called sway. Sway is more like crackling, rigid, crispy. And su is more like, well, kind of crispy, like this, right? So it's a different kind of crispy, I guess. Maybe there's a better word in English, but all I can remember at the moment is crispy for both of those situations. So this is another kind of like bread thing, but it's more like a pastry almost, as opposed to a bread. So whereas this Xiaobing is very much like a piece of bread. This one's much more like a pastry consistency. And it has a little bit of sugar added to it. So tang means sugar. It's not like overbearingly sweet at all. It just has a mild sweet flavor. These are all just various kinds of bread and pastry kind of stuff that you might get. These are the sort of things that oftentimes people won't cook them at home. They'll be made by a baker that prepares them and then sells them in street markets. And you might not buy, they're not often served. I got these from a restaurant, and you can do that. You can get them from a restaurant, but they're much more often sold at little stalls in like street markets and stuff. And people will buy a whole bunch of them kind of almost in bulk and then take them home and just have them at their house and use them with their cooking. Like you'll cook food, and then if you want to have it with one of these pieces of bread, in the same way that people in America often, if you're having like spaghetti and you want to have some bread dinner rolls with it, you might not make your own dinner rolls. You might go out and buy some dinner rolls from a store, and you still cooked your own meal and cooked the spaghetti and whatnot, but you bought the dinner rolls. That's a similar way that these bread items are sort of treated here often. Especially this one, the Yobing, because the way they prepare it usually is on this giant griddle, and you just make a big, huge one. And so that can be a little different. People will make small ones at home sometimes, but like in general, it's easier to just get them from a little stall. People will know which stall makes good ones, and they'll buy from that one. So I think that's about it. Got a couple different kinds of bread and some pork belly. I didn't really get any vegetables this time, other than the garlic. I probably should have done something about that, but it didn't occur to me when I was ordering. I probably should have ordered only one or two of the bread things and then a vegetable dish, but I didn't think about it, so that's where we are.